Stockholm, the capital of Scandinavia, or so they call it. And not many other Scandinavian countries want to argue with that, because Stockholm is undeniably the largest city of all the Scandinavias. That is Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. Some people say Finland, Iceland, and so on, maybe, but they're more Nordic, supposedly. Anyways, so this is one of the central areas of Stockholm. We are looking at the island of Gamla Stan, which is the old town. They have a ton of tiny little streets where you can barely walk because it's just, they're so narrow. I'm okay, I'm not too fat yet. So Stockholm is known as being one of the cities on the water. And as you can see, there's water everywhere. There's about, I think, 22, is it? Or 24 islands, all joined together. They're tiny islands. And they're connected by dozens, maybe even 100 bridges. And that's what connects all the little islands together. So you've got Gamla Stan right here. And this is the royal palace. That's where the Queen of Sweden, her consort, her 2 daughters, and her son-in-law live. Yes, Sweden currently has a queen, kind of like England. But they still also have a parliament. Yesterday I went to visit the Great Radhuset, beautiful building, and I also saw the city hall, Stadhuset. Mixed up the two a little bit, but they're both gorgeous buildings. So you get this great view of one of the main bridges that enter into the Gamla Stan, and I'm in this big square right now. This right here is a palace that was built for, as you can see up there, Sophia Albertina, which is one of the queens, or rather princesses. I think she later became a queen. Don't quote me on that. But she was royalty. And this man right here in the statue, he's Gustav II Adolf. He's one of the heroes of Swedish history in the 1800s. I have a lion here. I get the feeling that Sweden had a lot of influence on discovering Egyptian history because, well, they have Egyptian stuff all over the place and lions. And we just went in that building over there with the blue. That's the medieval museum. I was expecting Swedish medieval history, but actually it's more Near Eastern, Far Eastern, Islamic, Egyptian history, which is still very interesting. It's not quite what I expected. Now, here you have the Opera House, and that is one gorgeous building. I'm very excited for it. Roundabout, lots of crossing the roads. I'm just waiting until I can cross the road myself. Let's go! I'm not a dangerous person, what are you talking about? So here's another shot. And look at that. That's beautiful. It's crazy. And you have a big ship over there. And from here you can see the dome. That's a tiny island called Riddarholmen. It has a ton of docks. I mean, you're expecting a lot of docks anyways, since this is, after all, Stockholm. Water everywhere, canals. But there are a lot of docks over there. And we took a boat cruise yesterday around that area. I saw the Royal Grand Canal, beautiful, around the Djurgården. We also went to visit the Vasa Museum, which is this huge museum built to house this large warship called the Vasa. People kind of smile at me when I'm a tourist. Yeah, I'm a tourist, whatever. So they have the Vasa warship, and it sank in 1628, and then they brought it back up again. Wait, I'll let Adrian tell you the story. I'm here with Adrian. Get over here. He's been taking photos around this area because, I mean, it's gorgeous, right? So Adrian, tell them about the Vasa.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Tour Guide, let's go.
So in 1700s,
1628.
In 17th century, Gustav Adolphus basically, they were very rich and they were very powerful. They began to flex their muscles, basically. And Gustav VI Adolphus planned to build a huge, massive, powerful fleet. And at the peak of this fleet, as a flagship of this fleet, they decided to construct the Vasa, which was basically a two-deck gunship, which was actually pretty rare at the time. And because it's usually at that point in the 17th century, it was only about one-deck gunships, and so it was designed with that in mind. So the ship was very top-heavy, and didn't have enough ballast in the bottom, so on its maiden voyage, it toppled over and sank.
20 minutes into the very first voyage, gone. That's the story of the Vasa. So then in the 1900s, I think 1960s, they decided, hey, the ship's still down there, we haven't picked it up yet. So they sent some people down and they actually rescued it up, and now it's there in that museum over there. What else is over there is something called the Unibacken, which is a huge royal hunting ground. And that's where the royal kings and I guess queens would have gone to go hunting. And now they've turned it into a Nordic wildlife park. So that's where you can see moose and deer and all sorts of other animals. Kind of like what you can see at Stanley Park in certain areas and at the Vancouver Zoo. But hey, it's Nordic style. Yeah, Nordic style. Alright, so Scandinavia, one of the most beautiful cities ever. I wish I could show you a city at night. Wow, sorry, Stockholm. But Scandinavia is beautiful too. I loved Oslo. I'm sure I will love Copenhagen, which is where I'm going in about half a week. Because guess what? I finished all my exams. Woohoo! Okay, so this is going to be the end of the video. I'll give you one last shot of beautiful, beautiful Stockholm. I wish I could show you at night, but unfortunately I don't have enough camera for that, which is a pity. So Sweden, Stockholm. I'm probably going to see Malmo, which is a southern city in Sweden, in about a week, and I can't wait. So this is it. Checking out. Hey.